Next up will be Commissioner candidate Kurt Schlegel. Morning. Thanks for coming this morning. I can't believe the turnout. It's breakfast. It's great. They keep getting bigger and bigger every month. But I'm Kurt Schlegel. I am running for commissioner, like Scott said. A little bit about me is retired Marine. I also retired from Aurora Fire back in 2000. Self-employed right now as a public safety consultant. And I'm my wife's lackey for her Herbalife business. We work from home. And, you know, it's a common theme here this morning. We talked about people finally seeing what's going on in the country, getting fed up enough to get involved, and I'm just as guilty as the rest. You know, I've been a Republican as long as I was able to vote, and have always voted Republican. But you know what? After the things that have happened over the last 10 or 12 years, I've gotten to a point where I just can't take it anymore. And so it was a time for me to make a decision to get involved. My idea was I started to come to the breakfast, and I want to get involved and run as a delegate so I can go to the county assembly and the state assembly so that I could have a say in what happens. And I did get elected for that. At the same time, I found out that Hope had decided that she, wasn't going to run again, and I was asked if I wanted to run for that position of commissioner. I thought about it for about 5 minutes, and I decided, there's no better time than right now. So I decided to go ahead and jump in the race, and I'm looking forward to doing my part to contribute to the county. And I urge all of you, and I know most of you here are probably all delegates, and you've made that pledge. Whether it's a little or a lot, it's time for us all to do something to take back control of our country. And with that, I just appreciate your support. I look forward to working with y'all, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. It's going to be a heck of a ride. Yes, sir.
Kurt, what would you put on the top 3 agenda for you as an Elbert County Commissioner?
One of the things that a lot of people talk to me about is taxes. Property taxes are high, but we still want good roads. We want, the county to develop different things around here, but we just don't have enough money coming in to do that. Money's always a problem. So I think we need to look at development in the county. We need to encourage some retail and commercial development responsibly in the county. And I can only speak for the folks that live in the area of the county that I live in. Most of those folks live and work in the metropolitan area. So when they drive to work in the morning or they drive home in the evening, they're buying their gas in Aurora, they're buying their groceries, they're stopping at Southland to eat dinner, and we're missing out on a big opportunity there. Because it's not convenient for people in a lot of different parts of the county to come down to Elizabeth, to come to Kiowa and do their shopping and go to the restaurant. So I think that's one of the things we need to look at. And the other one is just being more responsible to the voters. I think the commissioners have done an awesome job in the last several years to actually turn the county around. We've still got a long way to go, and that's going to be a challenge of ours. I think that was it. Did that answer your question? Yes, sir.
In line with the tax base, would you be willing to establish some sort of a working group to approach different areas on how to invite businesses into this area?
Yes, sir.
To make it more favorable.
Yes, sir. And I think we've started down that road with the Economic Development Council. And we've got a long way to go with that. But I'm open to look at any proposal to do that. My vision is less government. Government needs to get out of the way of people, because people are the ones who start small businesses. They're the ones who make money. They're the ones who drive capital. And so I think the more that we can help the private business owner come to Elbert County and flourish, the better off we're all going to be.
I got some questions for you. Would you sign or support a recall petition? If so, why?
Recall petition for who?
For a county elected official.
Well, I look at that, that have to be on a case-by-case basis, depending on what happened. The way I look at it is the citizens are the ones who elect those representatives in the county. It would depend on the situation, depend on what prompted that recall.
What were your 2 previous jobs, and why did you leave them?
Last job, my full-time job, was battalion chief with Aurora Fire, and I spent 20 years there. And I'll tell the same joke. You know the difference between firefighters and puppies? Puppies stop whining after the first year. After 20 years of that, I loved my job, but it was time for me to move on and do something else, and so I retired. Before that, I was a Marine, and retired from the Marine Corps, and loved every minute of it. Miss it a lot.
Are you going to honor your oath of office?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Recently there was a major revision to the master plan. Do you see that document as advisory or as mandatory?
It's a guiding. It's advisory.
Is there anything in the new master plan that concerns you?
You know, I've only just had a chance to take a look at it real briefly. Again, I think that that is a document that should guide development in the county. It's not going to dictate development in the county. So there are going to be times when we're going to question, you know, what's the best thing for us. And I think that, again, that document's going to help to guide us in that right direction. It's not going to hold us up.
Recently, a sales tax of 1% was passed by the voters. It is dedicated to capital improvements of roads and bridges. If elected, will you honor the will of the voters, which was to keep the 1% for capital improvements?
Yes. Yes. I voted for that 1% tax increase because I think we needed it for roads. The difficulty there is you can charge 20% sales tax, but if you're not selling a lot of products retail, you're not collecting a lot of taxes. So yeah, that tax has served a good purpose. However, it's only given the county a small amount of money to actually do a huge job.
Why should we vote for you?
Because I'm the best candidate.
Anything else? Here's your shot.
Yes, sir.
I had a question. My understanding on this master plan in new developments, that a certain amount of acreage has to be set aside for open space.
Yes, sir.
Explain to me how a government entity telling a private property owner that a certain amount of their property has to be set aside for a use that they may not believe in is not an over-usurpation of a government's power.
The way I understand it is the people in the county have made a request. It is the general intention of the people here that they don't want to see high-density population housing. And so that's one of the requirements that's been built into that for development of new developments in the county, is they have to maintain so much open space. Yeah, it does come down to property rights. But that's one of the things that people have to look at when they're, you know, planning a development for the county, is, you know, that they have to plan for that. If they disagree with that, they can always ask for a variance on that requirement and bring that to the commissioners and see which way we go with that.
And where would you go?
It would depend on the situation. Again, I don't want to say that I'm just going by the letter of the law and this is the way it's going to be and it's never going to change. The way I look at it is everything is fluid, and depending on the development, depending on what that's going to mean to the county, the impact it's going to have on the citizens of the county, we have to take that all into account.
So if the rules are that the way the development will be developed, it'll be advantageous to the county, it'll benefit the coffers of the county more, then you'd be in support of it? Or if it goes against what the property owner's will would be, then you would be against that?
As a commissioner, I work for you. Okay, I work for the people of the county. So I'm going to try to represent what the people in the county want. If the direction that I get from the people is they're willing to put up with more open space, they want more open space in those developments, yes. If they're going to